disjointed, বিচ্ছিন্ন, অসংলগ্ন, অসম্পৃক্ত.
Disjointed isn't when you can bend your thumb all the way backward, that's double jointed. Disjointed means unorganized or disconnected. Disjointed is an adjective that describes something as disconnected, illogical, or just messed up. A disjointed argument is an argument that doesn't make a lot of sense. The same can be said for a disjointed sentence or a disjointed speech. In a medical sense, disjointed means dislocated or separated at the joint. When someone gets injured, they may end up with a disjointed shoulder or a disjointed hip.
Synonym:
confused, incoherent, jumbled, rambling, disordered, displaced, disunited, divided.
Antonym:
Coherent, connected, contiguous, jointed, ordered, united.
Disparage, অপমান করা, অবজ্ঞা করা. If you haven't got anything nice to say, then it's time to disparage someone. It means to belittle or degrade a person or idea. Disparage is a specific way to describe a certain kind of insult, the kind that secures the insulter's place as superior. It often refers to an opinion or criticism lobbed in print or via word of mouth, not necessarily an act done to someone's face.
Synonym:
Belittle, degrade, degrade, denigrate, deride, ridicule, scorn, slander, vilify.
Antonym:
Admire, approve, commend, compliment, flatter, encourage. Disparate, ভিন্ন, অসম, বিসদৃশ. The trunk of some people's cars may contain items as disparate as old clothes, rotting food, and possibly a missing relative. Disparate things are very different from each other. The adjective disparate is from Latin disparatus, from dispare, to separate, divide, from the prefix dis, apart, plus pair, to prepare. Disparate in the sense of very different, probably developed by association with the Latin adjective dispar, unequal, different.
Synonym:
Contrasting, discordant, dissimilar, distinct, divergent, diverse, various.
Antonym:
Agreeing, alike, same, similar, uniform, equal. Dissemble, ছদ্মবেশ ধারণ করা, গোপন রাখা.
To dissemble is to try to deceive someone. Your little brother tried to dissemble when you asked if he ate the last donut, but the chocolate icing on his face gave him away. Dissemble is a little more complicated than a straight lie or denial. When you dissemble, you disguise your true intentions or feelings behind a false appearance. To dissemble is to pretend that you don't know something, to pretend that you think one way when you act another way.
Usage examples.
He worked for 6 months at that company before they discovered he was dissembling. He had lied on his application about his credentials and education.
Synonym:
Camouflage, counterfeit, cover, dissimulate, fake, falsify, feign, hide, mask.
Antonym:
Disclose, divulge, expose, lay bare, let out, open, reveal. Dissolution, বিচ্ছেদ, দ্রবণ, দ্রবীভবন. The dissolution of a relationship means that it's broken up or ended. The dissolution of your band means you better get started on your solo album. The dissolution comes from the Latin word dissolutio, meaning a dissolving of something. Dissolution looks very similar to dissolve, so to help you remember the meaning, think about what happens if you put paper in water. It breaks apart. A dissolution of a marriage is the same thing as divorce. Although it sounds like dissolution, if you try to use them interchangeably, your logic will fall apart.
Synonym:
Disintegration, divorce, partition, detachment, disunion,
Antonym.
combination, construction, solution, unification. Disseminate, প্রচারিত করা, ছড়িয়ে দেওয়া. Disseminate means to spread information, knowledge, and opinions widely. Semen derives from the Latin word for seed. The idea of dissemination is that information travels like seeds sown by a farmer. A teacher distributing a handout at the beginning of a class. The dis of disseminate and distribute come from the same Latin prefix, which means apart, in a different direction. But unlike papers distributed in class, information, once spread around in all directions, cannot be pulled back in. Think about false rumors or political smear campaigns, and you'll understand that dissemination is usually a one-way process.
Synonym.
Advertise, circulate, disperse, propagate, publicize, publish.
Discrete. পৃথক, বিযুক্ত, বিমূর্ত.
Discrete means separate or divided. A discrete unit is a separate part of something larger. A room is a discrete space within a house, just as the crankshaft is a discrete part of a car engine. If something is discrete, it has its own space. An ice cube comes from an ice tray, but it has its own discrete compartment. Don't confuse discrete with its close cousin discrete, which means appropriately private. Billionaire Bruce Wayne, for example, is very discreet about his secret life as Batman. You could say Batman is a discrete, or separate, part of Bruce Wayne's identity. Anything distinct and separated is discrete.
Synonym.
Disconnected, distinct, various, detached, different, discontinuous, diverse.
Antonym.
Connected, similar, attached, combined, joined.
Disingenuous, অযৌক্তিক, অনর্থক, অন্যায্য, অসঙ্গত. The adjective disingenuous is used to describe behavior that's not totally honest or sincere. It's disingenuous when people pretend to know less about something than they really do.
Disingenuous combines dis, meaning not, with ingenuous, from the Latin gen, meaning born, which was originally used to distinguish freeborn Romans from slaves, and later came to mean honest or straightforward. So, disingenuous means dishonest. Ingenuous is less common now than disingenuous, but we still use it for someone who is sincere to the point of naivete. A good synonym is insincere.
Synonym.
Deceitful, dishonest, false, unfair, artful, crooked, cunning.
Antonym.
Fair, frank, just, trustworthy, truthful, ingenuous, naive, sincere, disinterested.
নির্লিপ্ত, বিমুখ, বিরক্ত, বিরাগ. If you can't decide whether to purchase the shirt with orange polka dots or the purple paisley patterned one, you might seek input from a disinterested party who will probably tell you not to buy either one.
Disinterest means having no personal involvement or receiving no personal advantage, and therefore free to act fairly. Disinterested is sometimes used to mean not interested, but many people consider this use to be incorrect.
Synonym.
Aloof, casual, dispassionate, impartial, indifferent, neutral, unbiased.
Antonym.
Biased, concerned, feeling, involved, partial, prejudiced, subjective, interested, passionate.